I heard an interesting story a little while back before this podcast was even a thing.
Okay.
I heard this story. I thought it was hilarious and awesome. There has since been a television show loosely based off of this story. I forget who hosts the show, but it's Outer Range. And this is a story that is all about an insanely deep hole that no one can find. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know.
That escalated quickly.
You jumped up a notch.
It's not a fight. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We gotta keep our composure.
You need to take it down. You really need to take it down a notch.
So there are plenty of conspiracy theories out there.
Yeah.
Most of them are terrestrial, like Bigfoot, or above the earth, like our guys over here.
E.T.
The extraterrestrials. We covered some weather manipulation in the last episode. Got a lot of space conspiracy theories, you know?
Excuse me.
Like people thinking space isn't real. Have we ever been to the moon actually? Which that's a fun concept to get into.
That'll be a fun one.
I mean, you're talking Bigfoot, Loch Ness, cryptids. Oh, I can't wait to start getting into them. But what about the conspiracy theories under us, right? This story about a massive hole, it makes you wonder, you know, you got hollow earth theories, the story about Centralia in Pennsylvania, the town that's been on fire for all these years. Some say it's the gates to hell, you know, who knows? It's probably just a coal fire that they can't snuff out. But secret underground cities, that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, that's cool.
I want to talk about that Denver airport one of these days. But as cool as all those are, I really just want to talk about holes, you know? Yeah.
The whole picture.
No. Just a hole. One of the greatest pastime, go to the beach, dig a hole, right?
Play golf. Try to get the ball in the hole.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of, you know, pool, shoot pool.
Holes.
Mm-hmm. Makes you realize holes are really a part of our lives, you know?
They are.
Lindsay loves the garden. What does she ask me to do?
Dig a hole.
Dig a hole?
Yeah.
Didn't think of it that way, did you?
Kidneys.
Kidneys.
We're using our kidneys.
Kidneys, dude. The movie.
There might be holes in my brain.
The movie Holes.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Based off the book, but I don't read books. So Shia LaBeouf, one of my favorite actors.
That was a good one.
It was a great movie. What was his name? Stanley Yelnats, right? Was that his name?
That's spot on.
Yeah, because his last name was his first name backwards.
Wow. I did not know that.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah. All right. Hitting you with these holes facts. And that's not even something I Googled for this episode. I'm just a nerd and I love that movie.
All right, fair enough.
They tried to get me to read it back in the day, but that's when SparkNotes was a thing, so I didn't read it. So what I really want to get into is Mel's Hole. That's the story. That's this massive hole that nobody can find.
Mm-hmm.
There is credible information on it, but before we get to the cool thing, Mel's Hole, I want to talk about some creepy things. Also pretty cool.
Mel's Hole sounds creepy.
And these stories that we're about to talk about, it kind of goes down the path of, you know, fact is sometimes stranger than fiction. I mean, there are some stories out there where you go, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What? And then you find out that it's real. And a lot of times those are the scariest ones.
Dude, it's nuts. These things are crazy.
They are. You can try your whole life to come up with scary and weird stories, but which one day we should do that. You should try to come up with a story and find two crazy stories, and I'll come up with a story and find two crazy stories, and we'll do like two truths and a lie and see if we can trick each other into thinking what's the real one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, we'll do that. It'll be fun.
We're going to do it. If we can remember.
Put it, yeah, well, hey, listen, I'll remember.
Well, it's recorded, so now we have to remember.
That's right. I have to look at this like another 12 times. Yeah, kidneys, baby. All right. So the first one I want to touch on is the
Kola Super Deep
borehole. It's in Russia. Yeah. The nickname.
That says it all.
Dude, they are crazy.
Yeah.
Did you hear the story
There's
about
lots of vodka at the bottom.
Did you? Yeah, that's it. They're just drilling for natural vodka.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else now. No, did you hear the story about this Russian? It was a Russian traveler that was in America. Okay, this is a little bit of sidetrack. We're going to get back to Russia, I promise. But this is a funny story. I just saw it. There was a bear roaming around. I don't remember where, somewhere in this country. There was a bear roaming around in a populated area. So they called the animal people in and they tranked the bear. But the bear got spooked, took off, and fell into a river as the trank was kicking in. And it's like all loopy, and bears are good swimmers, but obviously it's drugged. It can't swim. There's a Russian man visiting.
Saved the bear, didn't he?
He jumps in. And
I did see that. I didn't make the Russia connection, but
dude,
what a man.
That is, listen,
That's a man's man right there.
I don't care what country you're from. If you jump into a river to save a bear,
You got to be drinking vodka.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure he took a shirt. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
We're
his
giving him
shirt
all
was
the-
off. He's like the machine.
Yeah, the machine.
The machine.
Dude, that I got to give major props to that guy. I hope he knew it was tranked before he jumped in. Yeah. If he didn't, he's not cool anymore. He's crazy. If he knew it was tranked, then that's cool. If he didn't know it was tranked, the guy's a psychopath. He needs to go back to Russia.
Send him back. Send him back.
But anyway, I just thought that was a cool story.
That's crazy.
All right, so back to the borehole. We're back in Russia. This is up by the Arctic Circle. That country is absolutely enormous, and there is some crazy stuff because there's so much frozen tundra and so much space for extra activities that they do some crazy stuff there. So in 1970, the government got together and they decided they were going to try to deep. They were going to try to deep. Okay, next story. No, I'm just kidding. They were trying to dig an extremely deep hole. The origins within the government is a little bit unknown. It's a little hazy depending upon who you talk to. Obviously, we're in America. We're not going to know because we're in America. They don't want us to know anything.
Fair enough.
That they're doing. But this went on between 1970 and 1992. It is officially the deepest man-made hole on Earth. It is 40,230 feet deep. Now, a lot of people can't fathom that, but let me give it to you in miles. 7.6 miles.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
They dug a hole that deep. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking because I can read your mind.
Did they find the treasure?
How bad did you want to dig a hole that deep when you were a kid?
Never.
Even at the beach?
No.
What? That was the number one thing I did. I went to the beach. I grabbed a shovel. I dug a hole.
I know I say I don't mess with the ocean.
Yeah, he's a liar. He's a liar.
I will go and swim and get in the waves constantly. And that's like...
It is a lot of fun
to do
at
the beach, dude. Like, we just got back from vacation, and that's like 2 things we're going to do every day.
Feel the motion of the ocean.
We're going to go set up on the beach, and Dylan's going to get in the ocean.
Well, I remember, dude, when we went and we were down there, every day it was like, I'm going to be up. I'm going to bring my stuff to the beach before 8 a.m., before it gets hot, before anybody gets there. And then you would always swim before you came home.
Yeah, that's
so.
That's it.
No, but I mean, I loved, I don't know, maybe it was just me. I like to dig holes. It was just cool, like to see. Plus, I always thought I'd find something.
It is fun, dude.
I always thought I'd find something.
Yeah.
Like I was a kid, I found a rock painted gold in a parking lot. I swore it was gold.
Yeah.
And up until maybe 5 years ago, I think I still had that rock. I had a rock collection as a kid.
Hoarding territory.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, 7.6 miles deep this borehole was. To relate it to something else, the Mariana Trench, the deepest natural place on Earth in an ocean. I know. Earmuffs, Dylan. The deepest part of the Mariana Trench is referred to as Challenger Deep. That is 6.8 miles. So you're talking almost another mile past the naturally occurring deepest place on Earth. The project stopped. Questionable as to why it stopped, but one of the things that was registered was 356 degrees down at the bottom of that hole. Now, I mean, that's obvious. It makes sense. You're getting closer to the core. Where do you think lava comes from? But they stopped because the rocks they claimed were becoming malleable, and they would dig and it would just kind of like not ooze, but you know what I mean? Like it was so unstable down there that it didn't make sense to go any further.
Yeah.
So they stopped. Another theory as to why they stopped is because of a video that I want to show. The sound. An absolutely creepy noise coming out of this hole. Yeah, it's this one. And we're going to throw our cans on. I'm going to bring it up on the screen and I'm going to pop it up on the screen for you guys. But the sounds that came out of this hole are unlike any other sounds that have ever come from a hole. Get it? Get what I did there? Certainly not any sounds I'm used to hearing from holes. All right, so check this out.
This is the deepest man-made hole on the planet, and there are some horrifying rumors about what they found at the bottom. It's known as the Kola Super Deep Borehole, but many call it the Gateway to Hell. It was a project started by the Soviet Union in 1965 with the intention of discovering more about the Earth. But after 19 years of digging and getting 12,000 feet deep into the Earth's crust, they lowered a microphone down into the hole and captured this
This is the
audio.
creepy part.
Now, this recording of what they call screams from hell has supposedly been debunked, and regardless, the project was abandoned in 1995, but some of the scientists involved still claim that they dug through the gates of hell.
All right.
That's crazy.
So, sure, they say supposedly it's been debunked and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? That's not what this podcast is all about. It's all about the fun, okay? So, I don't think it's ever been debunked. That sound, dude.
I'd be done.
If that's a real sound, that is one of the creepiest sounds I've ever heard. It legitimately sounds like screams from hell.
I'm like finding a new job.
Oh my gosh.
New place to live.
I don't think the
I wasn't
pictures
part of it. Like
I don't think the pictures on there are actual pictures of the Kola Deep borehole.
Yeah.
But I would bolt that shut myself. I'd bolt it, weld it, put a rock on top of it. Like
heck yeah.
that hole. Oh my gosh. That is some creepy stuff. I mean, leave it to the Russians. They're pretty stubborn. So I can imagine why they're the ones that dug that deep. They never found the vodka. So they still have to make it themselves. But I mean, what if you were working on that? So what if you were called in to be the sound guy? Like, hey, drop a microphone down here and let's see what it sounds like. And that's what you heard. What would you do? Would you drop the mic and leave?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm like, I'm out of there, but I'm like, I'm also not going to live being the only person that knows that. I'm telling them immediately, like, y'all, someone else listen to this. Like, this is what I heard. I'm out.
Yeah, and you should all stay away.
It's like car dealership. Like, I'm walking out. Don't come after me. Like, heck no.
I am done. This is a past chapter of my life. I don't think I want to record noises in holes anymore. And
heck no.
Y'all have a good day. See you
Leave
later.
that to somebody else, boy.
Yeah, that was wild. So again, this is all build up because we're going to get to the real meat and potatoes of it with Mel's Hole. But before we get to Mel's Hole, there's one other one I wanted to talk about. You had mentioned it the other day, and I forgot that I had put it on here. Sinkholes. One of the scariest things ever.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I see videos all the time of like big rigs driving down the road and just a hole opens up and the whole back of the trailer falls in that thing. And Oh my God.
Dude.
Woo.
Like watching them, dude, they just.
Did you ever have a fear of quicksand as a kid?
No, never came across it.
Well, I saw it in a movie. I can't even remember.
Oh,
what
yeah,
movie.
Terrifying. Like I would freak the heck out if I ever got in it.
Yeah, we just watched a movie the other night, 65, with Adam. Is his name Adam Driver, the guy that played Kylo Ren, but he gets stuck in quicksand, and I can't even. That's creepy. So anyway, here we got a sinkhole. I'm gonna butcher this name because it's in Chile. Chile. The Atacama. I
was waiting for you to pronounce it because I wasn't going to try.
I think it's Atacama. We're going to go with Atacama.
Atacama to the sentence.
Atacama.
You get an A.
So the Atacama sinkhole in Chile. Let's do some stats here. This is 105 feet in diameter, which is no slouch. I mean, we're not talking about miles and miles, but that's a big hole, dude. It is 200 feet deep. And it opened up suddenly near a copper mine in 2022. So this is a recent hole. Okay.
Thing is huge.
Driving down a road, on your way to work. Going to a mine.
Look at the swimming pool they just added.
That hole never used to be there.
Yeah, for real, dude. It's like, the pond dried up.
Oh my gosh. So there really aren't any conspiracy theories on this one yet. Okay. But there are a lot of questions. A lot of it obviously is going down the legality road. You know, who's responsible? Blah blah. But they're claiming nobody was injured in the process. It's close enough to the mines where they're thinking it was a cave in, and they're wondering if people were in there, and they're hiding the fact that people lost their lives. But too early to tell. You know, 2022 was only 3 years ago. I could do math. And I swear I didn't write that down. I just did that in my head. I can do a few years at a time.
Did you say 2 years ago?
No, I said 3. I said 2022 was 3 years ago. Okay. Please, I swear to
it was a question. I was just wondering. You had
no,
me
now
guessing.
You're making me question myself. Dude, if I got math wrong on 3 years, we got a problem. Okay, so past the math. One of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up is because of the shape of it. So before we get into the other part of it, I'll bring it up on screen. I'm going to play a short little video. The shape of this thing just doesn't make any sense to me, right? It's for it to be natural and to be this perfectly round is weird.
Hole, which is expanded to
so that's real.
Meters
that's
in
not
diameter,
AI generated.
Suddenly appeared near a copper mine in late July.
But look at how
Chilean government is
perfectly
mining
it's
company
so
London
perfectly
sinkhole,
round,
claiming it overexploited the deposit.
and the walls are straight
the metal mining
down.
company says further studies are needed to determine its origin.
Just
that's weird.
It's very weird. How could something, and I'll take a still image of it and I'll put it up on the screen just so that we don't have to worry about watching a video over and over and over again. How could something natural be so perfectly symmetrical, round, whatever word you want to use?
I don't know.
Because all the conspiracy theories about aliens and stuff like that, when it comes to, or like ancient architecture, they all say the same thing.
Like perfect architectural geometry.
Lines, like how it maps out from a high point of view. It just doesn't seem like it could be natural. Now, don't get me wrong. It might be. But I want to ask, what's the weirdest thing you can think of that it could be? So I want to make a conspiracy theory.
On this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's work through it. Let's figure out what a conspiracy theory could be. And it could be wild.
An alien? An alien, I know what it is.
Go.
An alien is whatever their military branch is, was training, firing their spaceship, target practice.
Oh, shoot. Just blasted a hole in Earth?
He failed out of sniper school. He missed. And
you think?
Hit Earth straight down. That's my take.
Okay, so let's dive into this because if it is...
He now works in IT.
Yeah, right? Fired.
For ET.
Fired, dude. What? It's like, wait, where did you hit? You hit Earth? Oh my gosh, those idiots.
Here we go again.
Down
They
there.
won't shut up about us.
Yep. Now they're gonna. All right. You're out, Steve. Get down the hall. You're out. But okay, so think about this, because I was actually gonna go down the thought of like a blast crater from a takeoff, but I like your thought because we already know that direct energy weapons are a thing here on Earth, which is something you can't see, and they're super powerful. Basically, a massive laser.
Mm-hmm.
If aliens are very, very tech savvy, way ahead of us, they could totally have something that could blast a hole in Earth, and we would never see it. We could never feel it. It could just, instead of being a blast, it could just be something that goes down and changes the molecular structure of what it hits and evaporates.
Yeah, because it's like you think about something natural, like a meteor or something hitting. Small ones create craters. They don't go deep enough because it stops it. It's not coming in fast enough. Big ones wipe out the whole Earth and ecosystem, like the prehistoric one did. Can't remember what it was, but it's got to be something that disintegrates stuff rather than pushing through it.
Well, because it didn't move the Earth.
Yeah, it just completely like that wasn't a sinkhole. That was a drilled hole.
Yeah, it's like when you
perfectly drilled down.
Like when you shove a straw in Jello and cap the top and pull it out.
Yeah,
and it just leaves the hole.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Space mining, dude. What if it was? Instead of a laser, what if there was like it was by a copper mine? What if they just took copper? They were like, oh, that's exactly the amount we need.
They're toying with the copper mine. They're like, oh, they're about to find it. Let's go ahead and take it.
Wop. Take it. It's like they got close, but not close enough.
Time to relocate.
Oh, man. What if it was a alien drilling expedition, an alien mining expedition?
They didn't find something in that hole. I don't know which one they will.
So maybe Steve actually got a raise because he found the biggest chunk of like concentrated copper.
What if you look down into the sinkhole and it's just one man just sitting there just shoveling?
Yeah, the whole thing. Oh,
how long you been down there?
I've been digging this for years. Ain't nobody
trying to beat the Russians. I'm on year 18.
Yeah, I only got a couple miles to go.
Couple miles left, baby.
All right, so that's a conspiracy theory. I'm rocking with it. That was an alien mining expedition.
I like it.
And
those are two good ones.
Wow. Dang, dude. All right. Well, now that we've thoroughly exercised our conspiracy theory brains, that was a warm-up. Let's get into Mel's Hole. I love this story. I've loved it. I mean, when I say I saw it before the podcast, I'm saying a couple of years at least. I've known about this story. Kind of like folklore, I guess you could say. So anyway, the story of Mel's Hole. Mel Waters was a man that
he was a
bought
male.
He what?
He was a male.
He was a male man. He bought a piece of property out in Washington. And Ellensburg, Washington. So he bought this piece of property out there. He had owned it for a few years. And it was a big chunk of property. And every now and then he'd go and he'd walk different pieces of the property. Until one day he was walking on this piece of property with his dog. And the dog got spooked. He didn't hear any...
Trust your dogs.
Yes, trust your dogs. Dog gets spooked. He didn't see any animals, didn't hear anything. Dog spooked, acting crazy. Mel keeps walking. The dog does not want to keep walking until eventually the dog says, I'm out.
Out.
He's gone. The dog takes off. Mel is wondering what the heck is going on. So he's on guard, looking around, trying to figure it out. What does he come across? He comes across a hole. A 9-foot, 9-inch in diameter. He apparently measured it. 9 foot, 9 inches, not 10, not 9. He comes across this hole in the ground. And He has no idea how it got there. I mean, he had owned the property. I think the story I heard, he had owned the property for about 4 years at that point, and that's just a piece he had never gotten. So he looks at this hole. He's looking at it. His dog had taken off. He goes, all right, I got to go back to the house. I got to find my dog. Goes back. Dog's waiting for him on the porch. Just, not having the best of times. So his life goes on, and he starts talking to his neighbors about it. And his neighbors are saying, yo, yeah, that hole's been there for years. We throw our garbage down that hole. Sounds like something Americans would do. Wow, there's a hole. Let's just throw some trash in it. That's probably
I ain't paying the city crap.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about this story. They're like, oh, we throw refrigerators. I don't know why I have Southern accents. They're in Washington. We throw refrigerators on down this hole. And they're just like, yeah, we just throw all our garbage down. Oh, shoot, Billy Bob threw a dead cow down that hole. Which they actually did. Apparently the neighbors claim they did throw dead animals down the hole. Yeah. So Mel's talking to his neighbors. Neighbors telling him, yeah, we throw our garbage down that hole. But they've been throwing garbage down this hole for years. And the hole's still there. They've all just assumed eventually they wouldn't be able to throw their garbage down this hole, but it never fills up. So they just keep throwing the trash down the hole.
And they claim they never heard anything.
Yes.
That's the weirdest part to me out of all of it is like,
if you throw something down a hole, where's the hit? Where's the echo? Now, if the bottom...
It may take a while to get back to you, but...
there should be something.
Yeah.
And if the ground is soft at the bottom, maybe. But you're talking like it's got to be the perfect consistency of like... because even mud would have a smack. So it's got to be like mud...
whatever you're throwing down there, like cans or something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be like mud with moss on top. They're saying they threw refrigerators down this thing and like appliances. And you still never heard anything at the bottom of the hole? So they can't hear anything. Animals don't like it. Not just his dog. Other dogs, his neighbors are like, yeah, dogs won't go anywhere near that thing. So you got a hole that won't fill up. You can't hear the bottom. Dogs don't like going around it. And dogs are super intelligent and very in tune with nature. So you always want to pay attention to what dogs are doing. So aside from all those creepy parts of this hole, you're also talking about how electronics would malfunction around it. So radios would do weird things, play strange sounds, weird frequencies would come in, which one day we're going to go down the paranormal path, maybe for our Halloween episode. Have you ever heard of a spirit box? Yeah, this is one of the creepiest things. It's a device. It's not a part of this story. I just want to tell you. It's a device that randomly goes through different radio channels, different radio frequencies, and you bring it into a supposed haunted place, and it switches and uses it to pull words out of the radio to communicate with you from the other side. And sometimes it's weird how good it works. Like they'll say specific names of people that have passed away at that house, pulled from the radio waves. Yeah.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, so that'd be a good one.
Got chilly.
Did it get
Chile?
Is that the poltergeist? Oh no, we're not on Chile anymore. All right, back to it. So now to the weirdest part of this story is we had talked about how these said, yeah, I threw a dead cow down the hole and stuff like that. One of the neighbors his dog passed away. So why he would decide to do this is beyond me, and this might be a hole in this story, is that this neighbor said he threw his dead dog down the hole. And the dog showed up at his front door the next day alive. So Mel obviously said, when I die, throw me in the hole. Right? As you should say.
Yeah.
Knowing a story like that. Tell your neighbors like, hey, you show up at my house and I'm dead in a recliner, make sure you take my body, chuck it down that hole, okay? What? But yeah, think about that. Another quick side story. My buddy in college, shout out Ryan. You probably don't watch this, even though I asked you to because you're a jerk, but whatever. But my buddy Ryan, I'm a freshman in college. He had a dog growing up, and it was prone to seizures. And he comes in one day, he's all distraught. His dog passed away. I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Rocky, yellow lab Rocky. He was like, oh, he's the coolest dog. Like, I'm so bummed. Rightfully so. And then a day or two later, he comes running in and he's like, Corey, oh my gosh, Rocky's alive. And I'm like, dude, your parents probably got you another dog that looks just like Rocky because you can't get over it. But your dog is dead. And he goes, no, you don't understand. My dad was driving home from work. He saw a dog muddy in a ditch, and it was Rocky. He brought it home. He washed this dog. It was Rocky. This was in Syracuse, New York, in winter. His father went back to the hole he dug with a backhoe, frost line, winter, and the hole was empty. The dog was still alive.
Oh my gosh.
The vet, it had some weird thing where its heart rate was so low, the vet didn't detect a pulse. So they put it in a garbage bag, brought it home. They wanted to bury it on their land. It was in the shed overnight. He went to work the next day, buried the dog the next day. And then the following day after that, coming home from work, found the dog.
I bet he was hungry.
He dug his way out. Yeah, they said he could see his ribs and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
But
that's nuts.
And he stayed alive. I went up there. I visited his hometown, and that dog was still alive.
A ninja.
I refused to sleep in the same room as it.
Oh, yeah.
No. But he was a pretty cool dog.
Shout out, Rocky.
Yeah, way to go, Rocky. They actually made him his own Facebook page and everything.
Yeah.
I still get notifications when it's Rocky passed now, but I still get notifications when it's Rocky's birthday on Facebook.
All right.
Yeah, he was a great dog. So very strange stories, right? So how this story came to light was he was interviewed on a radio show in 97, late 90s, telling this story, saying, I got all these stories from my neighbors, and they were interviewing him. It was, I think, a radio show called Coast to Coast or something like that. And they brought him in, they interviewed him. He called in, everything. And one of the things he told the show was that he was an avid fisherman. He had a lot of fishing line. So he lowered, when all was said and done, he put a weight on the end of the line and he lowered 80,000 feet. 80,000 feet. Now, to go back to the first story, that was 40,000 feet, and that was 7.6 miles, and that's the deepest known man-made hole on Earth. He's claiming he lowered 80,000 feet of fishing line with a weight at the bottom into this hole, never found the bottom.
I'm just like impressed.
80,000. Yeah, you got to really
took the time to acquire that much fishing line and then tie it together.
Yeah. He really wanted to know what was at the bottom, wouldn't you?
That man.
I would want to know.
Yeah.
If I had a big old hole on my property, I'd want to know the bottom of it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Probably do rope, though. Oh, excuse me.
I don't know, man. Don't blow holes in this story. Don't ruin this for me. Don't WWE this. So anyway, so it never reached the bottom.
That's nuts.
He tried to call in on this radio show. He talked about, like, he went to people at local universities and said, could you please come and look at this? Geologists, maybe it's a natural fish. What's it called? Fissure? I don't know. I'm not a rock doctor, okay? They were trying, he was like, somebody's got to come look at this hole, Nobody would come. They all refused. They thought he was crazy. I would think you're crazy too. What do you mean you have an 80,000 foot deep hole on your property? No.
I just want to entertain it and show up. Like, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. This was back in the day before conspiracy theories were fun and interesting to talk about back then.
It's all the waste of my time.
They were like, you wear a tinfoil hat, get away from me. So anyway, this guy Mel says that one day he shows up on his property and there's military there and the road's blocked off. So
that's the part I'm like,
now we're pulling the military into this thing, right? So he claims the road was blocked off. They refused to let him on his own property, claiming that it was a plane crash. And they're like, you can't get in. There's a plane crash. It's blocked off. Cessnas go down all the time. It was in a remote part of the world. They use puddle jumpers to get around. Yeah, It's possible.
Yeah.
Could have happened. But it is his own property, and they're not giving him any answers. So he's a little confused. It's weird. Then they have one of the higher ups come when he's making a big stink about it, trying to get on his property. And they say, hey, how about all of the illegal plants you have on your property? We know about them. And if you don't chill out and leave this alone, we're going to tell everybody about it and you're going to get in trouble. So now he's claiming that there's people in the military trying to extort him out of this information. He was very upset about this. He wanted to try to figure it out. He wanted people to help him. Nobody would help him. And then the stories just kept getting weirder. Yeah. His neighbors started telling him about how they would see black beams come out from the hole and like shoot up into the sky. And how do you see a black beam? You know,
that's a good point. It had to be a blue sky.
Or it was at night and it just made everything void of light inside of it. Like the dark saber in Star Wars. You know what I mean? Yep. Just negative light, which
that's crazy.
Arguably would be scarier.
Yeah.
Than a bright light. If I saw something like Event Horizon, the point of a black hole when light is inescapable of it and it starts sucking it in. If I knew that and I saw light disappearing, I would.
Boy, I'm Forrest Gumping it.
I'm booking it out of there. That would be terrifying.
Run, Forrest.
Yeah. So there were a lot of weird stories aside from the black beam. One of the neighbors claimed that he originally saw stones erected around the hole, like Stonehenge.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I blanked on it too. I had to look at my screen. I won't get down on it for that. He claimed that he saw stones, which, again, another theory, if you've never heard. Stonehenge is an ancient portal that helped. So you like the theory. Remember, we were talking about it the other day. You like to think about how similar stories transcend distance throughout time, where people talk about the same things happening, the same creatures existing in cultures that they do not know each other. Well, some ancient alien theorists claim that Stonehenge and places like that around the world are actually portals that allowed ancient creatures to travel from continent to continent and spread these stories. So if you think about it that way, the stones around this hole,
that's so cool.
So, I mean, could you imagine jumping down that hole and popping up on like some ancient planet?
Oh, man.
Like that's how you got through? Oh, man.
Hello.
Yeah, that would be sweet. That would actually be pretty sweet. The last thing that I thought was very weird about this Mel's Hole story is the fact that if you plug the coordinates in on a Google and you go to the exact opposite side of the earth, there's actually, I want to make sure I say this right.
Yeah,
it's an intraplate volcanic plume, they call it. That's actually rising out of the ocean and it's creating a new island. I believe it's controlled by France. I think they own it. They own the rights to it. But that is weird.
What?
Yeah. Because you're talking about something that deep, 80,000 feet. I mean, granted, it's nowhere near do you know how big Earth is?
I didn't until you sent the thing. It's like over 7,000 miles to get to through it. Almost 8,000 miles.
From side to side.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Dude, that's nuts.
So, again, some people don't have spatial awareness.
That's 1,000 Russian holes.
Yeah, 1,000 Russian holes. So, the United States, it's roughly like 3,500 miles from coast to coast or something. 3,500 miles. You're talking more than double that. The distance from one side of the earth to the other.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. So 80,000 feet of fishing line. I mean, you're talking a pretty big distance to get to the other side of the earth with a volcanic plume.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just because you can't actually connect to the plume doesn't mean it isn't possible that something emitting from the earth equally on both sides is causing a hole in one and a volcanic plume in the other.
That was not, dude. I went down a rabbit hole of trying to do the logic behind it. Like, did something hit Earth and come through and maybe
Lava
didn't
tube?
make it all the way through?
So I actually brought this story up to Lindsay, and one of the first things out of her mouth was, well, what if it's just an ancient lava tube? Which, very good theory. What if it's just, but how would it be 80,000 feet deep and straight? Because usually lava tubes will follow the easiest path through the different pieces of the crust of the earth. You know what I mean? So for it to be straight, that's the weird part.
That's nuts, dude. I'm like,
yeah. So
that alien sucked at sniper school.
So the final piece that brings this whole thing crashing down on being able to actually debunk it is you can't see it from Google Earth. Back in the day, it was blacked out. It's not blacked out anymore. But then people say, yeah, but that's just because you can copy and paste and put trees over it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all that land looks the same when you look at it from Google Earth.
Google Earth.
This thing needs to kick in, boy. Golly. So anyway, one last video. And this shows some Google Earth. This is a video I found about Mel's Hole.
Because it has been expunged. What do you mean? Those pictures do not appear on the satellite server. The ones taken in June of 2000.
Well, instead, where your property ought to be, what do we see?
2 white squares.
So this is the interview with him.
You go to Terra server, that's provided by Microsoft. I'm not going to give any URLs.
No, a lot of people know how to do it.
And look up Ellensburg.
Right.
Zoom out.
Right.
So you get and then you will see over where the Monastash Ridge is.
Yes.
My property blanked out. Actually, quite a bit.
So his property isn't blanked out in this video.
So that is.
But they do zoom in and you see a spot where it's blacked out.
Trust me when I tell you.
And it's not.
Within the hour, I can guarantee we'll find.
And it's not shade from a tree or anything. You know?
Send me the URL.
It's blacked out.
Or send Keith the URL, and we'll get it up and take a look. And you're claiming
it's not there. But it has been expunged.
That's nuts.
That's weird,
dude,
right?
Why do they not want us to know?
Oh, I don't know, but I wish I did, but I don't. That's why we talk about it, you know? Got to get this information out there because I like normalizing the weird, you know? It's fun to do it, talk about it, and if it winds up someday that the hole exists and we find it and we don't know what it is and we start testing on it, cool. If we don't find it, we don't find it. But this guy believed it. I mean, you heard his voice. He sounded pretty
he's sincere.
He had conviction behind the story. So either he's a pathological liar and he's tricking the whole world, or he genuinely had that happen to him. Like that guy that had like the 30-year prank or something like that. He had those he had big metal shoes made that looked like dinosaur footprints.
Oh.
And he stomped around on the beach down in Florida and people thought it was like a giant ancient penguin or something like that. And then years later, his grandson was like, Grandpa, what are these things? And he goes, I used to stomp around on the beaches. Which
Scooby-Doo and his gang debunked that
one.
Oh,
yeah, that was a great one. But just like we were talking about with how wide the earth is, I mean, it's pretty weird to think that much stuff exists underneath us.
Yeah, dude.
You know, we talked about how big the ocean is, and we're going to have a whole episode about the ocean, probably multiple episodes about the ocean. But there's also Earth.
Yeah.
You know, which is why Bigfoot's real. Bigfoot. He's hiding, but he's real. And just like space, I think aliens are real. There's so much space.
Yeah. That's why it's called space.
Unless Earth is flat and this is all simulation. Oh, man. We never really think about it. We never take the time to think about the weird things like that. And I think today's episode was just, for me, like a brain exercise of thinking about the weird things.
Yeah.
And again,
thinking about Mel.
What's that?
Thinking about milk.
Oh, man, I thought you said goat milk. I was like, how did goat milk come into this thing?
We use goat milk formula
Well,
for Raylan.
I'm partially deaf, so I hear things sometimes. And it's also very funny because the kids will say something and I'll say what I think I heard, and it's so far off.
Oh, dude, that's
just be like
some of the funniest moments.
I'll be like, Barbie dream car, and they're like, we did not say that. Yeah, but it's so much fun to talk about this stuff, especially with like minds, which I hope a lot of people out there can just take it for what it is, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that these things are real, but it's cool to think about.
Yep. Makes for cool stories.
Yes, it does make for really cool stories. That's all I got. I just really want to talk about holes.
That's the whole episode.
Oh, dang it. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but
dad jokes.
We're gonna end on the whole episode thing. Aside from like, comment, subscribe, follow,
the whole shebang.
Oh, dang it!
Boom! Boy, I'm on fire today.
Down. I'm calm.
That escalated quickly.
You jumped up a notch.
It's not a fight. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We gotta keep our composure.
You need to take it down. You really need to take it down a notch.
Oh, nice. I like it. That was a good one. Better energy on that one.
Over under.